Welcome back to Take a Sip Podcast, Nerds and Nerdettes. I'm Tito.
And I'm Leche.
And what are you drinking this week, Leche? What are you sipping on?
I'm going to drink a Down East today.
Oh, me too.
Oh, sweet.
The original one?
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
This wasn't planned, guys, by the way.
It wasn't.
That's just coincidence, honestly.
That's so funny. And again, not much. Well, there's a few things, but nothing that we really want to talk about on the podcast for this week. We do have some things, like 3 things that are pretty much just all over the internet right now.
Yeah,
if you're in the gaming and like TV show like world. I mean, first thing first, just to get it out of the way, because I know we talk about it so much. Destiny.
Yeah, let's get rid of that.
Let's just move that out of the way real quick.
I'll let the black horse pass by real quick.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Destiny just started its new season on just this Tuesday, which is the, oh my God, what day is it?
11th.
The 11th. So the season of the Splicer. All right, let's first touch on what we've seen. So we've seen like the world, the new areas, quote unquote areas that they're unlocking for us. Some of the armor sets, new quality of life things that they've added for us.
Like the aspects and stuff.
The aspects, yeah.
I guess updates to our stasis abilities. I mean, simple stuff like that. That UI changes to.
Yeah, one big thing that I was super happy about that obviously you've known that I've always spoken about was the shader aspect of things. Before, you would have to go individually into your chest piece, your gloves, your boots, and apply the shader through there. I like the old D1 version, the Destiny 1 version, where it was just like one shader, you apply it, and it affected your entire outfit. Now it's kind of like a weird mixed match of both. Where you have a specific area where you can apply the entire shader to everything, but it's to everything that you have on at the moment. If you switch your gauntlets, you would have to go back in and then add the shader to that item individually, which it's a little annoying, but I guess it leaves a little bit of leeway for people to mix and match shaders and colors and stuff. First, like the new world that they updated for us, it looks very Tron-like, very neon. I think it looks cool. It's dope.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. It reminds you of, I feel like it's like whoever was in charge of this season looked at Prophecy and be like, we gotta expand on this. This Tron neon lights aspect, to make a whole DLC revolve in that. Screw it.
Even the new like events that we do is now a 6-person thing, which before the only 6-person thing we could really do was a raid or going into Crucible. So to have like an event that's more casual than those 2 other things, to have it a 6-person thing, very fun, very cool, very different too.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking for it lately, so I mean, it's kind of nice that they actually provided it this time around. So, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's gonna be rotating each week by the sounds of it. So, I think it's gonna have 3 different locations. So,
with 3 different bosses depending on the location.
Right.
Like right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go.
Sorry.
Right now, the only place we have so far is the Europa map, which has a a giant Vex
Chicken.
a wyvern attacking us. So next is probably an Earth one, Cosmodrome probably, because not many people visit the Cosmodrome. It probably gives us a way to go there.
It's under calendar. Which one's next? I kind of forgot. I need to look it up.
I think it was an Earth.
It must be. No, I don't think so. It might be Tingle Shore.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it's Tingle Shore. Yeah, and the last one's like Moon. Oh, it might be a Moon one. It's one of those two. It's definitely. There's no other ones that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's other stuff coming up too this season that I'm pretty excited about. I'm trying to, like that. The new story missions that they're going to bring up, they're called Expunge. So it's like heroic story missions throughout the season that are supposed to come out. So those, who knows how those are going to be. Especially, I think it's like you going within that Tron-looking like area, which is just you exploring it even further, which is pretty cool in concept. And story-wise, it's really fucking good right now, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Now, besides all that good stuff, let's talk about the horror of the launch. So normally, the weekly reset for Destiny is every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
For 11 PST.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Is that 11?
Yes, it should be.
Yeah, I think it's 11. Yeah.
No. 10.
10. Oh, God, man.
We know our time zones.
Clearly.
So, I mean, you could go to my Twitch page, twitch.tv/1alphapenguin. Hashtag ad. Hashtag plug. I actually streamed for about three and a half hours. The entirety of trying to get into the game.
Oh, man.
Leche saw the entire thing.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. Kept getting weasel coded, chicken coded,
honeydew, feed,
everything.
You name the animal, most likely that error code was there.
Yeah.
That point. Oh man.
At one point I did get to the tower. I took 2-3 steps. I was so happy. Again, this is all on my stream. I also posted the clip on my Instagram. 2-3 steps. I was so happy I made it in. Weasel coded. Sent back to the beginning. It was horrible. So bad. They tweeted out and posted on all their social medias that they went offline for
emergency
maintenance, which was like an hour, 2 hours, just for people. And then they come back and said, all right, try now. And there's an entire wait list on trying to get in, a queue time.
Fucking queue list to get in, literally waiting list for you to get into the servers.
And you would get in, you would get a number, 5,382.
Get unlucky and get 10,000, 11,000.
And then you turn around for a minute and come back to your screen. You're at 12,687. And it's just
already get booted out from the list entirely.
It just fluctuates, and you have like no exact saying on when you're gonna jump in or not. So it was a train wreck.
This season was as equally as bad, in my opinion, as the launch of Rise of Iron back in D1. Is the launch of Rise of Iron? I don't know, Tito, if you remember. I don't think you stayed up. Or maybe for you it wasn't that bad because you didn't stay up. You went to sleep. I think you gave up.
Yeah.
Back in Destiny 1, for most people who don't know, the reset time back in D1 used to be 2 a.m. Eastern time. So, no, was it 2 a.m.?
Yes,
it was 3 a.m. because it was 12 PST. So So I think that was 3 for us in Eastern.
Yeah.
So pretty much essentially the same thing happened. So like the servers were down because they had to do emergency maintenance because they were getting a lot of error codes and stuff like that. So, and then they did that fairly quickly. They brought it down and brought it back up fairly quickly, but the queue times were horrendous. They were worse than they were at launch for this season. Like you go in, dude, and your queue time was, I remember the specific number that I was when I first like got in. I was literally, I think I was 100,000. Like it was in the 100,000 like numbers. I was like, oh my goodness, dude.
Oh no.
And I remember me and Andre staying up because this mother freaker wasn't in, I don't think he was in California yet. I think he was still here. Yeah, he was still here. But me and him literally stayed up trying to just get a fucking whiff inside the game.
It was, yeah.
Oh my God, it was bad, dude.
And even still then, once like everything was quote unquote all right, there were still like frame rates a little bit. Sometimes people would still randomly get weasel coded or something.
There was a lot of issues still.
But
I was gonna say they figured out why they were getting those issues and they fixed it. But it's kind of funny. They said like a workaround, quote unquote, a workaround for people is like for people who had more than 40 friends in their friends list, it was causing, or 40 people that played Destiny, it was causing them issues. And it was still happening like today, yesterday, and stuff like that. So like, for example, like these streamers that have like, you know, like that everyone adds them or they add a bunch of people and stuff and forget to like remove them or something like that. They were having the biggest issues and hard time. And they had to remove like dozens of their friends on their list and keep less than 40 people on their friends list to even try to get into the game.
Yeah, no, like but at the same time, Bungie knew this was coming. They knew this was happening.
The new season, how would you not prepare?
It's a new season, and yet on top of that, it's probably one of the biggest seasons that past players that quote unquote quit the game are now coming back. We have somebody in our clan on our Discord that mentioned this is their first time coming back since D2 originally launched.
Yeah.
A while back. So that's what, 4 years?
4 years, yeah. 4 years ago.
It's ridiculous. But I mean, it was so bad. People glad who Twitch is on streams on Twitch, and even myself, and to my knowledge, a few other streamers, it got so bad as they were waiting for something to happen. We're eating on our live stream. Literally eating.
We were snacking, yeah.
We're snacking.
We were full on eating.
No, well, you were. I was snacking. Like Quaker rice cakes. But I mean, so far from what we got right now, it seems to be going good. Hopefully it stays that way for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Next Saturday on May 22nd, me birthday, Vault of Glass comes out, which I know a lot of people are also looking forward to that. So we might even try to get a raid team going for world's first Vault of Glass.
I mean, I want to get my hopes up for that. That's at that point, it's a speed run. We can finish that raid first and then do the challenge. Definitely not us.
Yeah. Well, no.
I mean, get a completion. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen that day. Like, I'm not going to sleep until it happens.
Well, it just depends on how many people actually remember on what to do from Vault of Glass.
Yeah, I'll be like, literally a few days before, be like that Tuesday, be like, if you're not one with me today, then I don't know, you're not part of my team.
Because I mean, we never know. We never know if they might have tweaked some things, added. They have to have. Because
I mean, in my opinion, because they said specifically they're not trying to change the raid like at all. They want to bring it back how people remember it, but of course add D2 elements to it. So what I hear from that is they're just gonna add champions, and the enemies are gonna be slowly harder. I feel.
And I mean, it is a Vex raid, so maybe even adding the wyvern somewhere into the raid to up the difficulty. Because I mean, those things are pretty hard to take down unless you're equipped for it. You get me? Mm-hmm. So that might be something they're adding to it, especially considering that originally the Vex in there are futuristic Vex.
They're adding those back. Those are pretty dope.
Yeah, so they might have some sort of different look, newer look. Again,
the real talk though for Vault of Glass, I think. The hype is like, oh, we're getting Vault of Glass back, but people are more hyped about the weapons that we're getting. We're getting all of it back. Actually, correction. I think there's 2 guns we're not gonna get from Vault of Glass. I think they already said that they're not bringing it back because of the archetype that they are, or something like that, because they're non-existent in Destiny 2 right now.
Oh, okay.
So that's the Void auto rifle, Atheon's Epilogue, which is like that very fast firing auto rifle. Like that archetype is non-existent too, and I don't think they would bring it back and just create a whole new archetype just for that one gun back.
Yeah, it seems a little weird.
And then I think they're not bringing back Victorian's foil, which is the fusion rifle from that game. From that raid. So,
but everyone's main thing right now is the Vex Mytho class.
Oh yeah, and those are the 2 things people are like, oh god.
Because even I never got my Vex Mytho class in D1, so to have the chance to get it in D2 seems very exciting for me.
Yeah, dude. I got the chance of getting it twice, pretty much.
First time in the
year 1 I got it. I understand people who didn't get it that first, before House of Wolves and all that DLCs came out. I understand, because it was a struggle finding people to do it and stuff like that. But then they reprised it 3 years later for Age of Triumphs, where they revamped all the raids and brought all the weapons back, and everything was unsunsetted. Pretty much everything was up to power again. So, and that's when I got it again at that point, because they brought it up to lightish and it was actually useful again.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't get it then, dude, because I feel like we did mad raids. I think you were just busy. You didn't get on as much as probably do.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Vault of Glass, I probably completed
a couple of times.
Twice.
I was going to say
3 times. I completed more Crown of Crotas than anything.
Crown of Crotas, you disrespectful.
What? What? Oh, Crota, whatever. Listen. Crota and the
Kingsfall you did too, I'm pretty sure.
Who?
Kingsfall?
Kingsfall I completed a lot more. That was in order was Crota, Kingsfall.
And those are the 2 you did the most.
Yeah, then probably Vault of Glass, and then the
Wrath of the Machine. I think you did it once. You said,
yeah,
and it's funny because you did it when D2 already came out.
It was just one day that we were just messing around and went back to D1.
Yeah, for the nostalgia trip.
Yeah,
that's when you actually got it. That's funny, dude. You told me that, I'm like, oh wait, dude.
Yeah,
I remember that you didn't do it.
Yeah, we've always I've always done bits and pieces, but never nothing enough to
get
the full idea of the full raid up until that one day when we did do the whole run.
And you realized how easy it was.
Yeah, I'm just mad that why we never completed it. But moving on from Destiny, another game just taking the internet right now by storm.
But for different reasons.
But for much different reasons, and understandably the reasons too. Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village. What
an outstanding fucking game, dude. Oh, yeah. Honestly. It's one, I'm watching a particular YouTuber right now called the Rad Brad. It's kind of big, but he doesn't show his face or anything, but he just literally plays the game casually. Like the right now, he still hasn't beat it. Technically speaking, he's still in the process of beating it. But man, the story, the visuals, oh my god, the bosses are so fucking unique. And it's like, I feel like Resident Evil 7 set a precedent, like set a bar pretty much for Resident Evil. Like, oh shit, okay, people liked 7, like what could we do to like bring it up here? Bring it from 5 to 10 real quick.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they did. Because this one is much lengthier. The bosses are kind of more insane. There's way more bosses. Not just you have your big bosses, but then you even have secret mini bosses throughout the game as well. And so much stuff, dude. So much crazy weapons and stuff that you can get in the game.
Yeah.
Really nuts, honestly.
I mean, and even just the map in general, the areas you're able to walk in and through is just much wider. Because normally before there's like set paths with like little things here and there, but now it's like literally almost an entire village, then an entire mansion. And like you said, yeah, great bosses and enemies. Obviously not so crazy like with zombies that we're used to, because it is a much different story now with vampires and werewolves, or lichens, or whatever they're calling themselves.
Yeah, lichens. No, you got it right.
But yeah, and then I mean, visually great, very appealing. It is interesting where they go, because I haven't watched the full game either. When it comes to Resident Evil games, I always watch Markiplier.
Oh, okay.
Markiplier is like,
yeah,
he's like my dude. And it's so funny too, because every time or anytime he gets to make like an innuendo towards Lady
Demetrius or whatever his name is.
Dimitrescu or whatever.
Dimitrescu, yeah. So hard to pronounce that.
Yeah, we spoke about it like a few weeks ago.
It's called Lady D.
Lady D. Like we spoke about it a few weeks ago too. Like, it's nothing sexual. He just admires like big, strong women like that. So making those innuendos. Well, exactly. But making those innuendos while he's like playing the game, it's just so funny hearing.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of is.
Because then he'll go back to like, but I have a girlfriend. My girlfriend's in the other room right now. I would never. And it's like, but you are.
Yeah,
like, you're making jokes.
He's doing it at the same time as he's saying, no, I would never.
It's so funny. I think crazy. Delirious has finished it completely.
Yeah, he finished it.
But I feel like he also just like
runs through it.
He missed so many things
on his videos as well. So, I mean, it's still good. I mean, it's still Delirious.
Oh, 100%. In his reactions to everything. But
his scream. It never gets old.
Yeah.
Never gets old.
I just can't wait to see like the explanation to all of this.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to ruin it.
I know, because I'm
they
so
do
behind.
Explain,
yeah,
like the connection that you're looking for. Like, oh, how does the zombies, they tie in with this?
Yeah,
you'll get it a little bit. They show kind of this. This takes place in a particular timeline, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Right. It literally follows 4 years? No, 2 years after the events of 7.
3 years. You were right in between.
Oh, wow. Close enough.
Yeah. 3 years after 7. Yeah. That's I mean, I don't want to spoil it for people either.
Yeah.
Let people either play the game.
Because, I mean, it is still fairly like new. Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, people have completed the game. People do their speedruns and stuff. But there are other YouTubers like Mark and a few others who do take their time and roll out the videos slowly but surely. So
they probably did beat the game already. It's just the videos are coming like, drip feed pretty much.
Yeah.
They're piecing it, making it lengthier. I mean, that's their job, of course. But,
yeah.
Man, I mean, I already seen the ending and it's nuts, sad. It's freaking, oh my God.
I've heard and seen bits and pieces, but nothing enough to like build a timeline for myself. You get me? Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm still trying to stay off anything. If I see it on my phone, just scroll by.
I'm gonna ruin one thing for you, okay? I mean, you're not gonna understand it.
Mia's not dead.
Huh?
Mia's
not
not.
that. Mia, question mark. That's the question, right?
Oh gosh.
But there's another time skip in the end. I'll leave it as that.
Right.
And this one's a bigger time skip.
Okay.
The way bigger time skip.
I don't know. So, but yeah. And then, I mean, watch it, play it. I think wasn't Andre saying he wanted to try streaming it?
I mean, he did stream it.
Did he? Then I probably missed those streams, unfortunately.
He's like, oh man. He said that he really enjoyed this one. He enjoyed it more than 7, for sure, he said.
Oh, really? That's good. Because he's also like a big
zombies. He's a big Resident Evil.
Yeah, zombies type of video games.
He says he's played all of them, but this one was probably one of his favorite ones, he said.
That's good, because I mean, that's what they were actually hoping for Resident Evil in general, that this was...
They're going to be their biggest one, yeah.
Yeah, to set them back in the right spot, I guess.
Put them back in the horror survival genre.
Mm-hmm.
Because they kind of, in my opinion, and people, this is more of a general audience type of thing. And I'm pretty sure we said it in past podcasts as well, that they kind of took 2 steps back with 5 and 6, because 5 and 6 are more action horror instead of horror survival. You get me? They kind of jumped. I think there was a craze going on, like, all these action games are selling and stuff like that, so we got to get on that. And they try to do the same thing pretty much. Yeah. And it kind of, didn't work in their favor. So, but they're getting back into their old ways, man, and it's getting good for them.
Yeah. I mean, that's it for my points on this. Do you have anything?
No, I mean, we hit everything pretty much.
All right. And then, last but not least, if you have Amazon Prime, I beg you, well, also, if you're old enough to watch this type of things, go watch Invincible. It is an animated show on Amazon Prime. I believe it's an original. No, it's based off a comic book.
Yeah, comic book.
It's almost like Justice League took a super dark turn with Superman.
I think it's better said they just made it more realistic. Like if Superman punched a person, like legit physically punched a person, instead of that person, like in the comic books, get pushed back, that person will be annihilated into pieces. Mm-hmm. Like they made it graphic, realistic. They made it. I mean, it's insane, honestly, and it's so awesome.
It's very gory. So if you're
honestly, that's to say the least. That's to say the least.
That's to say the least. But I mean, dialogue is great. Visuals are great. Like the storyline. It's only 8 episodes. Granted, each episode is like 40, 45 minutes long. But they make a very linear and very compelling story within those 8 episodes. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like we spoke before, you haven't fully watched it, but you've seen enough spoilers to understand the storyline. Yeah.
I've seen like that one scene that everyone fucking just talks about, the train scene. Mm-hmm. Oh God, that's exactly what I would picture happen in real life.
Yeah.
Like, guys, if you have not seen that scene, I don't want to spoil it, but man, you got to spoil it for yourself. At least that one scene in particular. Oh my God, dude. That just caught me off guard when I first witnessed that. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh shit.
So crazy. And I mean, it has a bunch of great voice actors and actresses. Yeah. You have Steven Yeun, who plays Invincible, the main character of the show. Steven Yeun was Glenn from The Walking Dead. Sandra Oh, who plays Invincible's mom. Sandra Oh was... I forget her name. She was a doctor in the first few seasons of Grey's Anatomy. J.K. Simmons, who plays Omni-Man, the dad of Invincible. He's on. What isn't he on? He was on Whiplash, Law and Order. He was on Oz, The Closer. I mean, it's so many great actors and actresses. Seth Rogen has a voice line. Mark Hamill.
Just legends.
Zachary Quinto. So many people. And it's, like I said, super great. It's very, very realistic. Because even besides the whole superhero aspects of it, the personal lives that these people that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
I mean, like, first of all, Invincible, he's oh my God, hold on, give me 1 second. He's an Asian American in the entire show. Well, not the entire show, but he's Asian American. But it doesn't concentrate on him being Asian. His best friend's gay, but it doesn't concentrate his friend being gay. They're just things where it's like, okay, they mentioned it, go on. Like, it's
Move
still
on.
Life. Like, okay, oh, you like dudes. Okay, cool. So, did you do the math homework?
Yeah, like, they moved on, like, real quick. They're like, like, they didn't push it in your face.
It's literally mentioned in the first episode, and then
never mentioned again.
Or, well, it's mentioned in, there's one whole episode where it is kind of like a topic that goes on, but it's not with him dealing with that. It's literally like, oh, I'm going to this place because I'm going to hook up with this guy. That's it.
What's that?
And then it's like, what happens with being the superhero and being in the crossfire of the villains and like that stuff. But it's not like it. I just love how it's written super realistically on both.
It's very modern for like its like its taste. Honestly, like it's kind of. Yeah,
because it's never like, his phone got smashed in the midst of a battle. No, it's always like, oh, his phone ran out of battery.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I see that. If you're like literally everywhere and you're on your phone to communicate with your mom, your superhero dad, your secret hero agency or whatever, like, yeah, you're going to run through your battery pretty quick.
Yeah, like constantly, honestly.
I mean,
and it's just that show is so good, so much potential, man.
Yes.
I mean, the ending was really good, and I think, man, I know the comic books. I have not. I need to check them out. Honestly, the comic book. But who knows how they go based off of the comic book? Like someone who knows definitely should let us know how it goes if they know. But I mean, there's so much good shit that might come from this show. And I feel like we haven't even seen like the tip of the iceberg on this show.
100%.
Like it's full to potential. Especially like spoilers alert, like when Omni-Man left the planet, who knows where, and then that alien guy comes in. I don't know his name honestly, but he comes in, talks to Invincible, telling him like, oh, that's the first time he's ever heard of his species of whatever.
Being on the planet.
Yeah, like leaving a planet without conquering it. So like who knows, man? He might
see, and even that part was realistic. Like from when we first originally meet that one-eyed alien, okay, he leaves. A few more episodes, which end up being like months in the show.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then he doesn't return until the last episode of the season. Even that's realistic on space travel. Like,
yeah, no matter how fast he probably
because he even says, oh, I had to rush back. After I got back, I told them and I had to rush back and this and the guy's like, yeah, I know. I dealt with it. I had to fight my own dad out of the planet. Like,
yeah.
It's so good, especially like you said, they leave it very open. to where Omni-Man went, what's gonna happen when he comes back.
It's just the anticipation of what's coming. Like, oh man, cliffhanger.
Because even so, then they left the timeline of the Martians.
Yeah,
that was still pretty open. I mean, I don't know. And it's so good because like they have all their aspects of what the Justice League, like you have your Wonder Woman, you have your Batman and all this stuff. And literally in the first episode, spoilers, they all almost get killed off. So then it doesn't concentrate on them being like the Justice League
at all.
It's like, almost like
no, it's not at all.
It's almost like the Teen Titans have to come into their own.
Yeah.
But they're completely different types of Teen Titans. It's literally that. Like,
yeah, that's bad.
Or it's almost like a Young Justice type of line.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's more like that type of vibe, honestly.
But it's so good. I definitely
recommend.
10 out of 10. Highly recommend. I finished it all in a day.
I mean, yeah.
I was doing homework and I had that in a window in the center of my screen doing my homework around it. Like it was so good. Very, very good. Anything else on your mind that you can think of?
When it comes to like gaming news and stuff like that, I mean, people are still on Resident Evil still because they're trying to see like what else, like the harder game modes and stuff like that give. I mean, other than that, man, I haven't seen anything that intrigues me 100% yet. I mean, so I still gotta keep an eye out for some stuff because I did hear some rumors about seasonal things for Call of Duty. Like they're I think doing like a mini competition, I forgot what they call it, man. Honestly, championship, I want to say. Tournament. It might be a tournament. I don't know what it's called specifically. I think they called it something. A skirmish. There you go. A small skirmish match between like some teams that went that fought against back in the COD championship a couple of months back. So that might be in the works supposedly, but I'm not sure. I need to get more info on that, and I will keep everyone updated on that. Honestly, maybe for the next podcast.
All right. And besides all that, May, if you don't know, is also Mental Health Awareness Month. As someone who has dealt with a lot of mental health, and Leche has had his moments, to my knowledge, definitely take care of that first. Taking care of mental health should be everybody's priority, no matter what type of job, what type of situation you're in. If your mind's not right, everything else is not going to fall into place. That's just seen me. I've fallen down some very dark holes of anxiety and depression. So that's why I am saying, as someone who has dealt with it, definitely get yourself checked, find yourself some help. I know we're still in the midst of a pandemic, but I do know there are free services that you could contact. So definitely look up into that. Again, just because it is not a physical ailment does not mean it doesn't exist, that you are not going through something. So you are seen, you are validated, and definitely, like I said, find some help. And on the other side of that, it is also Asian and Pacific American Heritage Month. So to all our Asian listeners, Pacific Islander friends, however you identify or wherever you are from, it is time to celebrate. And if you are friends or have friends that are Asian American, Pacific Islanders or whatever, be an ally. There is still a lot of discrimination during these days towards Asian Americans. Oh my God, like there's just a whole bunch of things. I do listen to another podcast his name is Matt Belisai. He was with BuzzFeed and had his own show on there called Wine About It. He has his own podcast that he does now, and he has a segment at the end of it called Do Better White People, where they also give out like either Instagram posts or websites to check out for white people who do want to be better at being allies and non-confrontational, or know when to step in and step out of their boundaries. So listen to them. They are very funny. And then that gives a whole bunch of information at the end of their episodes as well. But yeah, like celebrate, be happy where you come from. We had a whole thing with our Hispanic Heritage Month. So
yeah, honestly.
And besides that, Leche, where can people find you?
People can find me at Instagram at Leche Minuesa, or follow me on Twitch at TechnoFreak95.
And then you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and on Twitch at OneAlphaPenguin. You guys can follow the podcast at Instagram and Twitter at TakeASip_pod. And then the YouTube channel at Take a Sip. What was I saying? Leave a like, subscribe, comment, share, and I mean, go outside. Weather's getting better. Take a walk. That's also for mental health.
Everything's getting better at this point.
It is.
Not globally, sadly to say it, that, yeah. But definitely in the U.S., it's slightly getting better when it comes to the pandemic, for sure.
So yeah, drink some water, take a walk, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
So. Thing, the little bear looking thing.
I made it in.
Yeah, he's literally looking at like GG. He's looking at. Oh, dude, are we able to view like the circumvaulted glass?
Bro, I got to the tower. I took one step. Boom, weasel code.